Valtteri Bottas has slammed George Russell's chances of beating Lewis Hamilton this season before the first race has even begun. George Russell has already spoken about his aim to beat Lewis Hamilton in 2022, but in a recent interview, Bottas had some things to say about George's chances. Let's take a look at Valtteri Bottas' most recent interview and what he thinks of Mercedes' chances now he's left. Hey Motorheads, glad to see you back on this racing track. Did you get road rage and need some Formula 1 updates to help you relax? Then we're ready to drive you. So put on your seatbelts and join us as we chauffeur you through today's video. But before that, be the perfect speed freak by banging into the subscribe button. Alright, we're good to go. Valtteri Bottas has ruled out the prospect of George Russell beating Lewis Hamilton in his first season as his Mercedes teammate. And not because the former Williams man isn't fast. Rather, it's because Hamilton is so consistent that even his bad days aren't as bad as most drivers. There's no one on the grid who knows Hamilton and what it's like having him on the other side of the garage as well as Bottas. Valtteri Bottas was teammate to Lewis Hamilton for 5 years, and during that time, he never managed to beat the Brit in the World Drivers' standings. His 10 race wins during the time was scant reward for how well the Finn drove during his time at Mercedes. Driving alongside a driver like Lewis Hamilton is never an easy thing to do, and Valtteri Bottas was famously demoted to wingman by Toto Wolff. I don't see anyone else beating Lewis in the near future in the same machinery, the Finn told Sun Sport. George will adjust well, because he has been with Mercedes for some years. But beating Lewis is not easy. I've experienced that. Every driver's aim in Formula 1 is to win the World Drivers' Championship. To get to that level in motor racing, you have to be completely single-minded in your desire to win. Christian Horner has been quoted in the past that F1 drivers have a fighter-pilot mentality. To believe they are the best and that no one can beat them. If they don't believe they can win, then they can't win. It's as simple as that. George Russell has been testing Mercedes cars for years now, and has even raced in a Grand Prix in one at the Sakir Grand Prix in 2020. Russell will adapt quickly to his new environment, and plans to hit the ground running. He's a true professional, and won't let his new surroundings affect him. Valtteri Bottas went on to explain why he thinks George Russell won't be able to beat Hamilton. It's his consistency in his performances. Every driver has form that's a little up and down, but his baseline for performance is just so high. Even when he has a bad day, it's not too bad. It's his consistency over the season. It's hard to argue with Valtteri's assessment of Lewis Hamilton. Having won 6 of the last 8 World Drivers' Championships, it's impossible to call Hamilton anything but consistent. Another of his key strengths is his ability to adapt to different conditions, the skill to react to changes, be it setup or whatever. Bottas went on to say. This and his racecraft. His tyre management is a special skill, and all these things are combined with talent. And he puts in the work, which not many people see, so he's hard to beat. I can be proud that on my day, I was able to beat him, but not consistently enough to beat him over a season. Only 2 drivers has ever managed to beat Lewis Hamilton while in the same car as him. Jenson Button managed it in 2011, early in Hamilton's career. Then Nico Rosberg managed it in 2016, and then famously retired straight afterwards, probably in part due to how hard it was to fight Lewis every race. Despite Bottas' failure to really compete with Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, he'll take away some fond memories. Him and Lewis had a good relationship while working together, unlike Hamilton and Rosberg who constantly fought. Maybe that's one of the reasons Bottas was never quite able to break through Hamilton's dominance of the sport. Speaking about his time at Mercedes, he said, "A part of me is always going to miss working at Mercedes. Now I've started looking back at my time there, I've tried to take all these positive moments we had. There were great moments, and I enjoy working with Lewis and Toto, but I'm always really excited for my new chapter. I'm sure with the experience I have with Williams, and after 5 years at Mercedes, I'll be able to help the team move forward. I feel really comfortable with my role. Yeah, there is responsibility, and I have commitments to the team, but it's exciting." Bottas is going to be driving alongside Zhou Guanyu at Alfa Romeo in 2022. The Italian team have been running towards the back of the grid for many years now, but we'll be hoping that a new driver lineup as well as the new regulations will allow them to challenge in the mid-table. In Bottas, they have a hugely experienced driver who knows firsthand what's required of the team to win world championships. He'll be going to Alfa Romeo expecting to shrug off the title of wingman as well and really show what he can do out of Lewis Hamilton's shadow. Bottas will be looking forward to new opportunities that are in front of him and has this to say about the 2022 season. "When I joined Mercedes," he said, "it was difficult for me to take the lead because of Lewis being there. With him being in the team, it's always difficult for me to take that lead role. So now it's different and a fresh start for me, and having that lead role is a good feeling." With Valtteri Bottas leading the team, Alfa Romeo are confident of their ability to move forward in 2022. Bottas will know that he isn't going to be fighting for pole positions or race wins on a regular basis unless his team somehow manage to design a monster of a new car. But his new team principal, Frederick Vasseur, expressed his confidence the move would be helpful for Bottas, even if he's no longer competing for race wins on a regular basis at the front of the pack. "When you're a driver, I can perfectly understand that it's probably a better feeling to fight for pole positions," Vasseur told Autosport. "But on the other hand, he will be central to our project. It will be a pillar of the development of the team. It's probably not exactly like this at Mercedes, because he was always a bit in the shadow of Lewis." Bottas has been racing in Formula 1 for 9 years now, and Alfa Romeo will be relying on that experience to push them forward. It will be the first time in his career that he'll be the most experienced driver on the team, and Alfa Romeo have high expectations of what he can bring. But the 32-year-old Finn says he's excited about the prospect of being the team's most experienced driver. Alfa Romeo has a great heritage in the automotive industry, and also racing, so driving for the brand is a big responsibility, Bottas said. "And actually, for the first time in my career, I'm the more experienced driver on the team. I think it's about time because I'm starting my 10th season. So I definitely feel like I have the responsibility to guide the team and help the team and giving everything I have." Bottas sounds like he's going to be taking his experience of being the perfect team player to Alfa Romeo. At Mercedes, he gave everything for the team and worked incredibly hard to help the team succeed. These are going to be skills that will be invaluable to Alfa Romeo. The other driver on the team, Zhou Guanyu, has been a test driver for Alpine and Renault for 2 years and has competed in Formula 2 for the past 3 years. But that isn't necessarily experience he'll be able to translate into Formula 1 success. It will be Bottas' tutelage that will help him succeed in Formula 1. Finally, before we end the video, let's quickly look at what Lewis Hamilton had to say about Valtteri Bottas leaving Mercedes. Hamilton declared Bottas his best ever teammate when it was confirmed he would be signing a deal to join Alfa Romeo. He tweeted, "I'm immensely proud to have worked alongside at Valtteri Bottas for the last 5 years. We've been part of a team that's delivered 4 Constructors' Championships, and we've motivated one another to keep pushing through the ups and downs. Thank you, VB. Let's finish strong." George Russell has big shoes to fill at Mercedes, and Valtteri's efforts for the team will be sorely missed. Russell should heed Bottas' warning, because if he expects to be fighting Lewis for a World Drivers' Championship in his first season, then he set his expectations way too high. George Russell might be a World Drivers' Championship contender in the future, but for now, he needs to watch and learn from the best in the business. That's it for today's video. Thanks for sticking with us till the end. What are your thoughts on George Russell aiming to fight Hamilton this season? And can Bottas take his experience to Alfa Romeo to help compete in the mid-table this season? Whatever your thoughts, let us know in the comments section below. And on your way out of our pit box, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell to be sure you don't miss out on any of our content. I'll see you on the grid next time. Drive safe and bye for now.